It's my pleasure to be here with you and to be on stage with you here at Enterprise Connect. As Eric said, I've been doing this for a really long time. So I've been in the IP communications business for almost 20 years. It makes me feel a little old to say that, actually. And honestly, for a few years there in the middle, the unified communications business was kind of boring. Wasn't a lot of super exciting things. It's not like the old days. I don't know, many remember we used to play with these SIP phones, and we'd have them in a lab, and we'd make the phone ring, and we'd be so excited, like, yay, the phone rang. Like, those are the fun days, and it's been a while since then. The phone rings all the time now, so we're good. But it's exciting again. And it's exciting again because we're entering this next era of collaboration, this next era of technology. And this one is different. This one's not just about the tech. It's about fundamental changes in the way people work. And that's really exciting to me. So we started to go look at this and look at some data about this future of work. And one of the things we realized pretty quickly is that the challenges that companies need to solve, the work their employees need to do, it's becoming too complex for one person to solve it anymore. And one of the ways you can actually measure this is go look at the number of inventors on patent applications. And you see this crazy trend that the number of single inventor patents is on the decline because innovation is happening by more than one person. And so this data led us to believe that sort of the age of individual genius is over. All right, the days when great leaps forward were made by one man or one woman, and Isaac Newton or Marie Curie, those aren't happening anymore. We're in the age of teams. And one other way to think about this, and to me this is the most interesting of all the data points I'm going to share with you, is the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, used to hand out this award for the one person who did great at bringing peace to the world. They're having trouble finding one person because all the people who are innovating and creating groundbreaking new things, they're teams. And so the Nobel Committee is actually looking to give this award to teams now. So times are changing, the way we work is changing, but when we looked at the prior generation of collaboration tools, we realized you didn't really have a great tool for teams. All right? Why not? And what's changed or is changing that makes the prior generation of tools not work that well? Well, to start with, today's term teams are different. First and foremost is that companies are looking to build these teams from the best talent anywhere in the world, wherever they are. Finding people with skills that are appropriate for the job is more important than finding people who are in commuting distance to your office. And UC tools before sort of tried to do that, but it wasn't great. And honestly, this is really personal for me. So you all may not know this. I'm not based in Silicon Valley. I work out of my house in New Jersey. Okay, there you go. One person in the front. New Jersey, anyone else? All right, New Jersey. Out of my house in New Jersey. This is not a centerpiece of Cisco engineering, unfortunately. Most of my colleagues are in California, 3 time zones away, or Oslo, 6 time zones away. And I do my job in delivering the technology and product strategy for the collaboration technology group at Cisco remotely. And that's enabled through the very tools that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So this is like, I'm a believer. The second thing is it's becoming more commonplace to work with people outside the boundaries of your company. Contractors, consultants, business partners. You're not isolated to doing work inside the confines of the business. This is happening more and more. And let me give an example. The teams that are winning these Nobel Prizes, they're cross universities. In fact, the team that helped me make this presentation, it's 2 consulting firms and folks from my own organization all working together as a team to build this. And our first generation of UC tools was okay, but not great at that. But it's more than that. It's more than these 2 problems. We said to ourselves, gosh, if we want to allow teams to do their best work, like, what would that look like? Like, let's picture that scenario. And here's what we said. Okay, well, first of all, like, the technology is great. Obviously, you have crystal clear video, awesome audio, low latency. But it's way more than that. It's actually about the meeting itself. You can imagine like a bunch of people getting together. There's no BS. There's no overhead. Everyone's super engaged in this high energy conversation. You've got just the right people, everyone you need and nobody else. Everyone's fully engaged. You make great progress. You actually enjoyed the conversation, right? You walked out of that discussion, that meeting, you said, that was awesome, right? And for us, that set the bar for team collaboration. Our aha moment is that the experience we need to deliver is to take the best meeting you ever had and make it that every time. And what that means is that teams need have a collaboration platform that is first and foremost a fantastic meeting product that can deliver that great meeting experience every single time. And that's not hard. That's not easy. That's super hard to do that. So we went and we thought, what are the big problems we need to crack in order to deliver that team collaboration experience? And I want to share with you today the 4 big ones that we've been working on, the innovation that we've been doing. And so what are these big problems? 1, we have to stop data breaches. 2, we have to enable ad hoc meetings for real this time. We have to make remote work work, and we have to solve multi-vendor for real. So let me go through and take these for you one at a time. First, data breaches. Let's go back to these teams that we just were talking about. Like, they're going to have great meetings, but they're also going to be sharing files and content, and it's not like traditional meetings where it was just a live screen share, right? Just think about this for a second, folks. These teams in your companies, they're going to be sharing content, messages, PowerPoint files, Word documents, videos, photos, basically the most crucial, the most confidential lifebloods of all of your businesses are going to flow into these tools and into the cloud. Those no-bill teams, right, that are going to be working across universities, what happens if their data is stolen? Are they going to be happy about that? Are you going to be happy about that? No. Honestly, folks, you should be scared. Right? And we were scared too. And if you go ask, what do we do about it? Ask your vendors, like often the answer you'll get is, oh, we got you covered. We're doing best-in-class encryption in transit and at rest. And this is sort of the best that can be done. Check. It's like a checkbox item on an RFP. But let me tell you something, folks. That technology was designed for the old client-server era, when everything was on-prem. And it sort of made sense, right? You'd encrypt the data from the client to the cloud, to the server, and then when it rests in the database. And that made sense. But in the cloud, it's different because your data is still exposed here, right, where it's processing before it gets to the database. Now, on-prem, that's like one server. It's no big deal. But when you look at this in the cloud, this ain't just one server. And the cloud is filled with hundreds or thousands of microservices and processing components that are working on your data before it finally rests in the database. And when the data moves unencrypted in the cloud, every one of these things becomes a hole, an opportunity for your sensitive data and information to be exposed. And that's bad. And it means it's basically open season for attackers and bad guys that prey particularly on the unique vulnerabilities of the cloud. Let me give you an example. I'm sure you're all probably pretty familiar with this one. Meltdown and Spectre, which were attacks that actually compromise the very core assumptions on what it means for 2 processes to run on shared tenants on a virtual machine. They could actually reach into each other's memory and pull data out. Yikes, right? And that attack, this Meltdown and Spectre, did encryption in transit and at rest protect you against that? Nope, it did not. And in fact, like despite all the work that we at Cisco and every other vendor is doing to secure their cloud, is the rate of data breaches going down? No, it's getting worse. So you probably heard this quote, like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. We knew something had to change. So we said, what if we do try and prevent the attacks, but we don't base our security on preventing them? What if we stopped worrying as much about preventing them, and instead we make it so that the bad guys get the data, it doesn't matter? And so BreachLock was born. BreachLock is an innovative new security technology from Cisco. And with it, it doesn't matter if the Cisco Collaboration Cloud is breached. When the attackers breach it, they pull the data out, all they get is garbage. And at the same time, we deliver capabilities to end users and IT that they need, like search and e-discovery. And to do that, we use a unique form of encryption called end-to-end encryption that encrypts the content on the client before it goes to the cloud, and then gets decrypted by the client when it gets received. Now, seems sort of obvious, like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, Jonathan. So how come everyone else here on stage or in the booth isn't doing this? Well, it turns out it's not compatible with a lot of the business models that other vendors have. Like, if the data is always encrypted in the cloud, like, can you sell that data? Can't do that, okay? If the data is encrypted in the cloud, can you generate advertising business off of it? Can't do that either. Can you mine it for like crazy insights to redesign your software to generate more data? Can't do that either, right? So it doesn't fit with the business model of many customers. But the other reason, they said it was impossible. It has been traditionally viewed as impossible to deliver end-to-end encryption in an enterprise setting that still enabled things like search and e-discovery, which are traditionally impossible with end-to-end encryption. And so when you think something's impossible, you don't do it. Well, guess what? They were wrong. Years of R&D, we figured out how to do this. We figured out how to deliver end-to-end encryption while still maintaining the features like search and e-discovery that you and your users need. And that's what breach lock is. And so let me give you an example. So one attack that happens is somewhere in the mass of the cloud, there is a virtual machine that's not sufficiently protected. And the bad guy injects a piece of malware into that virtual machine, and then it logs into the database that sits in that cloud, and it pulls all the content out. And then guess what? Every confidential file, every message, every secret of your business, every piece of your company's lifeblood gets published on the open internet. Bad, right? That's the kind of attacks you need to worry about. With breach lock, all the bad guys get is useless data. To prove it, I am now going to break into Cisco Spark right here on stage and dump the contents of our database that holds messages. And I'm going to pick one particular space, and I'm going to dump the message content on the screen for you. Ready? So let's see it. I'm going to walk over here. Now, let's see if we could get this up. Now, I'm a really fast typer, just to let you know that. So we have a console here, and I'm logged in now to an adjacent virtual machine in the Spark Cloud. What I'm going to do is I'm going to SSH into the database that's sitting on a nearby machine. So here we go. Very fast typer. I told you I'm a fast typer. So listen, this is actual screen dump, accelerated for your entertainment, but this is real. Okay, this is what it actually would look like. So great, I'm SSH into the database now. Now I'm going to turn on the bash shell. There we go. And now I'm going to actually turn into the interactive CQL. This is Cassandra Query Language. It's one of the databases we use in the Spark Cloud to execute database commands. So there we go. See how good I am. And then I'm going to select the key space. So this is the actual command. Now we're going to pick the database that I'm going to go hack into. There we go. Great. And now I'm going to do the query. So this is the row with the specific message. So that's the one I'm going to go after. So I'm going to pick this particular space. Good thing I remember the ID for that space. There we go. And here it is. It's a little small to read, so I'm going to blow it up for you. Okay. There you go. That is the literal contents of the database entry for a real row in the database in the Spark Cloud, right? That's real. That's real content from our database. Does anyone want to tell me what that message says? Garbage. It's complete garbage, okay, because it's encrypted with a key that's elsewhere. And so we've solved it. We have solved this data breach problem with breach lock, critical to the future of team collaboration. So the next problem I want to talk about is ad hoc meeting escalation. So escalating from chat or email to a meetings. So honestly, that's something we in the industry have been talking about forever, basically. In fact, this feature exists in our good friend Microsoft Outlook, and it's been there forever. You can schedule a meeting, you can click the call button, and you can have calls. And I looked at our WebEx statistics to see how often do people use this feature. And the answer is almost never. It's not used. So I said, oh, that's interesting. Why is that? And the reason is because it's really hard. It's not seamless at all. You're in the messaging tool, whether it's email or the chat app, and you got to do this cross-launch. A different tool comes up, and it's slow, and it's difficult to get in. It's just not at all seamless, right? It totally feels like what it is, a complete jump between platforms. But that's not the big problem. The big problem is the social problem, which is when you start one of these ad hoc meetings, there's this game of chicken that happens. Am I going to join the meeting? Is this meeting really happening? I don't know. I'm pretty busy. I am chatting here, but is anyone in this meeting? And you can't tell. It's the traditional tools, by separating them, didn't give you great visibility to solve this problem. And you need to bring these things together to solve it. So solve it we have. And so the best way to show you that is to go do a demo. So I'm going to walk over to my demo, and my typing speed is going to be a little slower this time. So here I am on my PC, and of course we see Cisco Spark here. And I'm going to go to this space here. This is the Enterprise Connect Stand Design space, right? And what we see in these guys is they're chatting away, and there's lots of work going on. I see someone's typing some messages. Let me ask him a question. Hey, guys. And we see lots of people are active. So this space is having right now what I sort of call it's a chat meeting, right? You can see the typing indicators are going off, messages are flying by, everyone's engaged. Like I said, this is a meeting. It's just happening with their fingers on the keyboard instead of by voice, right? So this discussion is going so well. I bet someone's going to try to start an ad hoc meeting in this space. And so we'll see if I'm right and someone decides to go start an ad hoc meeting. And wow, what a coincidence. Someone started an ad hoc meeting. Amazing. So I'm going to ignore that right now because I'm kind of busy. I'm talking to all you guys. But these guys are chatting away, and they're having a great conversation. And now I've got to make this decision. Am I going to join that meeting? Now, first of all, it's really easy for me to join. There's the big green join button. We love our big green buttons here at Cisco. But more importantly, I see these little photos here at the top. And those tell me who is in the meeting, even though I'm not there yet. And there's a lot of people in this meeting. And by the way, they're still there. I think this meeting's happening. In fact, I think I probably got to be in this meeting. So the tool is giving me the information I know to make a decision. I can see the meeting's happening. It's continuing. There's people there. I better join. How do I join? Oh, so easy. I hit the join button. And in this particular case, I'm going to take the meeting from this fantastic bad boy over here. This is our Room 70 dual screen, one of our new video endpoints for fantastic video quality, pure digital speaker tracking. I'm going to see more about this later. But I'm going to go hit that join button to start the meeting. Okay. And we'll get this guy up right over here. And we'll have a fantastic, let's see if they're going. Now, remember, I'm joining in the middle of a meeting still in progress, so they're chatting away. How's it going, guys? You're making progress on the stand design, I hope? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So keep working, guys. So these guys are having a meeting, and you can, first of all, isn't that great video? I mean, look at that. You get video on both screens. It's fantastic, great quality in the middle of a meeting. And look how quick that was, right? This is the kind of meeting you'd normally have to take a while to set it up, but it just worked, and it has great quality. Well, again, I'm going to leave these guys alone because they're busy getting the stand design settled. So I'm going to say goodbye. Bye, guys. Bye. All right. All right. I'm going to hang up on them. So now what's really cool is this meeting is still going on, right? This meeting is still happening on my PC. So, okay, so we're good. So that's the story about ad hoc meeting. Now, the next big problem we have to solve is to make remote work that works. If teams are distributed, we need to solve this. And let me tell you the secret to solving collaboration for distributed teams, it's video. And if you're a remote worker like I am, think about that best meeting you ever had. I promise you it was with video. And why is that? Well, it's obvious. Human beings are exceptionally visual creatures. Social media trends prove this, like 150% increase in retweets with a photo, 2.3 times the engagement for photos in Facebook. And anyone that's made the leap to video knows that it keeps people engaged. And that's what we want for that best meeting ever. Now, with video meetings, the hard part actually is getting people to use video all the time. And that's important because when video is on all the time, it means that a remote person can be assured that when they join the meeting, they're going to have a great experience. You can always have a high-quality conversation. And you don't need to plan it in advance. You don't need to say, hey, guys, that meeting next week, could you all log on to video because I'm going to be remote? Like, that doesn't happen, I promise, right? The only way to solve this problem is with what we call pervasive video. Pervasive video is a cultural phenomenon, actually, is really what it is. It's cultural, where video is on all the time. And inside of Cisco, for example, we have this cultural nirvana. And in fact, it's so extreme that when you join a meeting inside of Cisco and someone doesn't turn on their camera, it's like they have a disease. You're like, Bob, like, your camera's not on. I mean, are you okay? Like, we got to check on. And then when you join a meeting without video, you've got to make an excuse. It's like, hey, guys, my camera's not on. I'm really sorry, but, I'm having lunch, and I'm eating this burrito, So it's like, it's this crazy thing we have. And I can assure you that this video matters, right? It's essential for remote work. As a remote employee, I can attest to this. So what does it take to actually deliver this pervasive video? Well, when everyone was in the office, it was easy. You all, saw each other, right? But with remote work and teams spread all over the place, we have to solve the problem that's a little harder. We have the office, and now we have people remote, and we need the tech to connect them. That's simple. And it all needs to work together, and it needs to be affordable to do this at scale. So for the office, the way we do it is we deliver a high-quality experience with means with great hardware endpoints. And we still continue to believe and invest in this hardware. From desktop systems to the largest rooms, it makes a difference. And it makes a difference more now than ever before because of this new way of working, because of the power of teams in the modern era. And the proof is in the numbers. Our business is on a tear. Right? In the last 6 quarters consecutively, we have seen double-digit growth in the volume of video endpoint shift. Now, that is an easy number to achieve if you're a little startup. we are the #1 player in this stuff by a long shot. And that means this stuff is growing like crazy, and it's because of this. So we've got the video endpoints in the office covered. Now, the hard part of pervasive video is actually the technology that connects them. In fact, this problem was so hard that it literally fragmented the market into 2 separate segments. You have premise video systems, where the IT guy, you guys put servers on campus, and you set them up and run them, and the quality was beautiful, right? But the scale was OK and hard to scale up, and the cost was very high up front and sort of moderate in the long term. Now we've got all these cloud video products like WebEx, and they deliver great scale, basically infinite scale, and really nice cost. Quality is good, but it depends on the public internet. So it's hit or miss depending on how good you are and sort of your luck of the draw. I mean, it's the nature of the public internet. And so that's something that's sort of challenging, because neither tech solves this alone. And we knew that we needed something new, something unique, something revolutionary that literally changes the very nature of the video market. And so I'd like to introduce you to Cisco's Video Mesh. What is Video Mesh? Well, getting a little techie for a moment, Video Mesh is our technology in the cloud. What happens is that you guys can deploy, in IT, you can deploy some servers on-prem we call media nodes, and we have some in our cloud also. And that combination forms this network. So when clients, whether it's one of these guys or a software application, join a meeting, they automatically discover the nearest one, whether it's on your campus or in our cloud, and they connect to it. And then our cloud is like super smart. It sees the whole thing, it orchestrates them, and it gets all those media nodes everywhere in the world, and it connects them together for a cascaded conference to build the optimal topology for the meeting. That's what Video Mesh is. And when we do this, it brings a bunch of unprecedented benefits. The biggest one is coverage, right? The hardest part of video rollout is getting this stuff where your users are. With Video Mesh, you can put the server in your large campus locations. Remote people, they can connect to our cloud, and we'll stitch the whole thing together with incredible video quality, combining prem and cloud together. Another one, of course, is capacity planning. This was a really big problem with traditional on-prem video systems. You'd have to build out hardware for the worst case, lest your users get a busy signal. No longer. Now with Video Mesh, you can put any amount of capacity on-prem. If you don't have enough somewhere, it automatically overflows to the cloud that's nearest to where your users are. No one else has anything like that. On-premise quality, so when your users do connect to a media node on-prem, you get the beauty of a managed IP network, no public internet, exactly what people expect. Nothing beats that. But you also get huge clusters. Like I get asked this, Jonathan, how big can you scale these things? Infinite. I mean, how much hardware can you buy? This is cloud technology. It's designed for this. Normally, that would be impossible to manage, but not here because these are cloud. How do you set it up? You log into the server on-prem, put in your Spark credentials, and that's it. All setup is complete. You don't even manage software upgrades. You can't. It automatically upgrades from the cloud with no downtime. Again, amazing type of capabilities. It's a little bit of cloud in your closet. And finally, the whole thing's totally invisible to end users. They just hit the green button like I did, and it just works. So don't be fooled. Okay, I hear this a lot. Yeah, Jonathan, yeah. All your competitors have this hybrid server thing on-prem too. Not a differentiator. It's wrong. It's not like this. This is not a connector. This is not hybrid. This is a totally unique video technology called Cisco's Video Mesh. And you get the highest quality, lowest cost, and scale for a totally new category of video conferencing. And this is the secret to pervasive video for enabling true team collaboration. So we've solved the tech in the office. We've solved the tech that connects them together. But you don't have a team collaboration product without remote people. And so fixing remote collaboration, it turns out, is actually about the stuff in the office. Because the remote guy needs to get the great experience when seeing the people who are elsewhere. And it's been our lifelong mission to fix that. And that's what I want to show with you today. And it's actually this combination of the video system capability and the remote client that's important. So let's jump to a demo, and I'll show you what's going on. So let's say I've got this meeting, and I'm a remote participant, and I'm at home, and I'm joining from my PC. I'm joining from WebEx. So no video system at home. Again, for scale and cost, we get it. Great software application. And I'm gonna join this meeting right here. So start my meeting. It's a PMR meeting in my personal meeting room. So it comes up nice and fast. Now this is the new WebEx experience that jumps right into this great video full screen experience. Perfect for that remote participant in the meeting. And there we are in the meeting. And look at that, full screen, great video for all the participants here. Now, what's awesome in this new WebEx, by the way, is I can change the layout. Some people like this. We call this Hollywood Squares, for any of you who know, remember that TV show. So I can switch to across these different layouts. Now, in this case, I'm actually pretty interested in what these folks here in London have to say. So I'm going to actually lock the view to these folks over there, and I'm going to go full screen for that all-in experience where we see Neil and team. Neil, how's it going over there?
We're good, thanks, Jonathan. How's it going in Orlando?
All right, we're great. Now, your video is amazing quality. Are you behind stage here?
No. We're definitely sat here in London.
Yeah, they are in London, folks, for real. There we go. All right, so tell us a little more about what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, so as I say, we're sat here in front of one of our Spark Room systems. Normally, by default, we'd have our speaker tracking enabled and you get a great view of us, but we've, for the purpose of this demo, just turned it off for a second. So I'm going to ask Steve to turn it on just to show you how, once we activate the speaker tracking, it uses my voice and my face to actually find me in the room and adjust the camera and give you guys on that end the best possible view. Which now you've got us up on WebEx and you've got it on the laptop, you get a really good view of us here in the room. The other cool thing is obviously I've got Steve here with me and he's right next to me, so the system's actually detected that we're in close proximity to each other, so it's actually framed us both up so you get a good look at both of us.
Yeah, so that go ahead.
Which is great for us here, but we actually had a third person that we hoped was going to join the meeting, but they're running a bit late. And you know what it's like when someone runs a bit late.
I do. It's a real pain when people are late. But what I want to call out, wow, he's actually quite on time. So I just want to emphasize, look how awesome that looks. Awesome. And it's because we have a great application here with WebEx and this amazing speaker track. But something just happened here. Was this teleportation technology? He just appeared there. What happened there, Neil?
So Pete came into the room. We've been trying to find out why. I think the queue at Starbucks was a bit long. But he's actually managed to join us. And you saw when he came into the room that the system actually framed all three of us up so that all three of us are now in the frame and you can see us.
Amazing.
So I hope that's given you a pretty good view on how the B-end experience for you guys on the WebEx has been improved. And it's handing back to you now in Orlando to finish up.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. That was amazing. What do you guys think of that? Was that great quality or what? I just love it. So I'm going to let these guys actually continue the meeting without me. You'll see why in a second. And leave. And again, sort of the point here, folks, is that making remote work is actually mostly about the stuff in the conference room and in other places, combining with a fantastic video experience on the desktop a la WebEx. And with that, we've made remote work that works. Now, there's one last thing I want to talk about, and it's quite different from the rest of it. And the hardest part of team collaboration in a lot of ways is deploying it in the reality of your network. Now, other vendors may say, yeah, you know what you're going to do is you're going to junk all that and you're just going to move all to the cloud. But I don't know. We're not such a big fan of that philosophy. The reality is most enterprise networks I've seen have like 10 IP PBXs owing to like different sites and like 3 acquisitions, and you've got like 3 meeting products, and you have video endpoints from us, and you have ones that from us that still say Tandberg on them, by the way, in addition to a bunch of ones from competitors, and it's frankly, it's a mess, right? Does that sound familiar to anybody, I hope, right? One person. But anyway, that's the reality of the modern enterprise network, and this new stuff can't be an island. You need interoperability. And that led us to this philosophy of better together, but not only together. Our stuff has to work with the mess that you already got. That's simple. And so I'm going to do for you something on stage now I don't think has been done at Enterprise Connect before. You ready for this? I'm going to walk on hot coals. No, I'm not going to walk on hot coals. That would be original, but that's not what I'm going to do. No, what I'm going to do is, instead of bashing our competitor, I'm going to actually demo their product on stage and show our stuff working together nicely. What do you think about that? All right. So back to my handy-dandy PC. Here it is, Skype for Business. And there's a lot of this deployed. We think it's going to be around for a really long time. Supporting it interoperably is key for us. I actually have my PMR here set up. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to start the video call, and I'm going to join right back into that meeting where we were having that before. And let's see. Uh-oh. All right. Sorry, did I click the wrong one? Let me try that again. All right. There it is. All right. There you go. And that same meeting just joined from the Skype for Business client, showing that our stuff works. Yeah, that was pretty fast, actually. Pretty good to get in the meeting right from the competitor's product. How's it going? You guys hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you, Jonathan.
Perfect.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. And there they are again. Awesome. All right. So, folks, there you go. There you have it. And this is just a piece of the puzzle, right? If we focus just on Microsoft, we've been doing more to integrate with our friends in Redmond than ever before. From AD to Azure to Exchange, Outlook, Word, Office, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive are all part of our solution. Much as we compete, frankly, we can't imagine a world without Microsoft, and we're working to make that combo better than ever. And so we've solved multi-vendor for real. And I'm really excited about that. And that was the last of the 4 problems that we've had to solve in innovative ways here to deliver this capability for you. And we've had to solve them because this is the age of teams. And in the age of teams, team collaboration must first and foremost be a fantastic meeting product, like the best meeting you ever had every time. But our work is never done. Innovation never stops. I promise you ain't seen nothing yet. Stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter. I'm JD Rosen2. You'll hear a lot more, especially next month. Enjoy the rest of Enterprise Connect. Thank you very much.